Hi, welcome to the iGuide Casino Show. I'm Stephanie Holland.
I'm Vanessa Franco.
So we've got four really different and fun shows to talk to you about today. First up on Friday night, September 14th, we've got the Fab Four at Agua Caliente. So if you're not familiar with them, they are the world's greatest Beatles tribute.
Well, that's because like two of the real Beatles are dead.
Wow, way to bring the show down. Thanks.
Well, I mean, really, okay, I can't tell you the number of press releases I get about Beatles cover bands.
No,
but I mean, they're like the premier.
Yeah, this
Beatles
is
cover
the
band.
one. Like even the Beatles say they're the great Beatles tribute.
Well, not John Lennon, because he's dead.
Well, that would be weird, yes. But
Zombie John Lennon. Zombie John Lennon approves.
What happens is they take you through the whole Beatles career. So they start with the early like bar days in Liverpool and go up to the Ed Sullivan Show, and they go through the
Are there costume changes?
Yeah, and they go through the Sgt. Pepper phase, and then they go through like the 60s long-haired phase, and
Well,
they
it was like, yeah, 60s. I mean, all their entire career was pretty much in the 60s.
Well,
I'm being ornery there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Stephanie.
But they go through the whole thing, and I've seen them lots and lots of times,
Yeah?
and they are really fantastic.
Is it like wax figures of the Beatles come to life like that today's
if
special
you
show?
are a serious Beatles fan, you really should see this show because
I am
you
a
would
serious
really
Beatles fan.
you would really enjoy it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm sold. I'm going to be there.
now, if you're not interested in the Beatles, and I don't know who isn't, but let's just say you're not. Also Friday night at Morongo, Gladys Knight.
Ooh.
I mean, you could see Gladys Knight, and she's not gonna sing a bad song.
Woo woo. Are the Pips going to be with her?
I think it's just Gladys Knight.
Like not even one Pip? Gladys Knight and the Pip?
She might have backup dancers who sort of pretend to be the Pips, but it's just Gladys. Vanessa's doing her midnight train to Georgia.
Yes, I am. I think I might do that karaoke soon. I like it.
Yeah, I've seen her live as well, and every song's great because she does all the classics.
Really?
Her voice is still fantastic. So if you're in the Morongo area, I would really recommend that show.
That sounds good. Well, I mean, it's two very distinct styles. If you want Beatles, you want Gladys Knight.
Yeah, you really can
That's
go
what you
either
do.
end of the spectrum. And then Saturday night, this is the one that Vanessa's super excited about. I actually had to ask her to stop singing. Is Olivia Newton-John is playing Fantasy Springs at 8 o'clock on Saturday.
Well, okay, so I have a story about Xanadu. I recently saw Xanadu for the first time, like maybe a year ago. I didn't understand the movie at all. I don't really get it. Like Xanadu's kind of a Xanadon't, but it's like amazing, and it's like hot messness.
It's a terrible movie.
Oh, it's
and
awful.
The worst thing about this movie is that it turned out to be the great Gene Kelly's last film.
I know, that's like so sad. That just like takes it to a whole other level of, oh, I'm
It's a
sorry.
terrible movie, but it's sort of reached this cult status. But so I'm sure you'll go see it. She'll probably sing Xanadu. She'll of course sing "Do You Believe in Magic," which I had stuck in my head for a good 2 hours.
That was
after
on
we
the
talked about
Xanadu soundtrack too.
Right.
You know, I was in Greece. Were you ever in Greece? The show, not the country.
I was in Greece and I played Rizzo.
Did you? Nice. High five. So that was Olivia Newton-John's rival though.
Yeah. So of course, I don't know.
I wonder if did she sing the Greece?
I don't know if she sings any songs from Greece. Maybe she sings "Look at Me," I'm Sandra Dee, or "Hopelessly Devoted."
That was a big hit for her. They wrote that especially for the movie.
Right. So, and of course, she'll probably sing "I Honestly Love You" and "Physical." All the hits basically.
That was like one of the top songs.
So it'll be. I think this will be a really fun sort of show to go to, and a flashback show. And she's still very popular, especially internationally.
She has cookbooks too.
Especially overseas, internationally, she's still super.
She's from
super
Australia.
popular. Yeah,
Australia loves her. She's like a national treasure.
So again, at the other end of the spectrum, and like way across town even. At Harris Rincon, Marcos Antonio Solis is playing. He's playing Saturday night.
Yeah, it's a little bit different from.
Well, what happened? He's on that Gigantes tour with Mark Anthony and Cheyenne, which was going to play the.
It was going to be in Ontario.
It was going to play the Citizens Business Bank Arena. But that show got canceled, so I suppose if you are really disappointed, you could go check him out at Harris Rincon.
But that's only one Gigante, not just.
You don't get all three. You just get Marco Antonio Solis.
I told you my theory about this. I'm convinced it's because Mark Anthony. Have you ever seen him? He's so pale. He might be a vampire. He can't. He can come out for the shows because he's a vampire.
He's very pale.
He's very pale.
The shows are at night, so I don't know why that would have anything to do with
the
that.
bright lights. It could burn. Didn't that happen in
So,
Interview with a Vampire?
Those are the 4 shows. If you
What?
have to go see one, which one do you go to? And I think I know the answer.
Really? What do you think my answer is going to be?
I think you would go see Olivia Newton-John.
You are correct.
And,
you win. Nothing.
I would probably go see the Fab Four.
But you already seen him. Don't you want to try something new? Let's go see Olivia Newton-John.
But the Fab Four are great, and I love the Beatles.
You can't argue with that.
Okay.
I love the Beatles.
So
with that note, it's the long and winding road that leads us to the end of our show.
well, I can't beat that. So check us out next week.